Often, when we talk about ancient empires, the story feels distant from the African continent, as if its lands were merely sidelines to grander narratives. But what if I told you that North Africa was not just a backdrop, but a dynamic stage where some of history's most pivotal power shifts unfolded? Imagine a world where the very fabric of society, from legal systems to daily meals, was about to be profoundly transformed. Join me as we uncover the true, often overlooked significance of North Africa's integration into the Muslim world.
The initial phase of North Africa's integration began with swift Arab campaigns in Syria and Egypt. Between 634 and 642 CE, the Byzantine grip on Egypt faltered and eventually shattered. This was not merely a territorial shift. It marked the end of an era where the Melkite Patriarchate of Alexandria, once a privileged state confession under Byzantine rule, held supreme religious authority. The new Muslim state brought a dramatic reordering of power, forever altering the religious and political landscape. Before Muslim arrival, Egypt was the breadbasket of the Byzantine Empire. A vital source of grain and immense wealth, its strategic location bordering both the Mediterranean and the Red Sea, control over Egypt meant control over crucial trade routes connecting Europe, Africa, and Asia. This made it an indispensable territory for any aspiring regional hegemon, a land whose destiny was coveted by many powerful entities. Under the new Muslim administration, Christian communities in Egypt, like those elsewhere, transitioned to the status of dhimmis. This term refers to protected religious minorities who were allowed to practice their faith, maintain their communal laws, and largely govern themselves, provided they paid a special tax, the jizya. While it offered protection, it also meant a gradual marginalization of the Christian Church from its former position of state privilege, shifting its role within society significantly. The conquest of North Africa west of Egypt, a region known as the Maghreb, was not a swift single event but a drawn-out process spanning over 50 years. This gradual expansion reflects the complex geopolitical realities and the formidable resistance encountered across diverse tribal lands. It was a testament to persistent strategic planning and adaptation as the new Muslim state sought to extend its influence across a vast and varied landscape, encountering a mosaic of peoples and power structures. During the reign of Walid ibn Abdul Malik, a crucial strategic move was made. Musa bin Nusair, the Umayyad governor of Ifriqiya, modern-day Tunisia, appointed Tariq bin Ziyad to lead the newly conquered Moroccan territories. This was a masterstroke of decentralized command, empowering a local leader to consolidate control and prepare for further expansion. It demonstrated the caliphate's sophisticated understanding of regional governance and military strategy, leveraging skilled individuals to achieve their overarching goals. Morocco wasn't just another conquered territory, it became a crucial staging ground, the ultimate gateway to Europe. From this westernmost point of North Africa, the expansion into Spain, known as Al-Andalus, originated. This monumental crossing of the strait, later named Jabal Tariq or Gibraltar after Tariq bin Ziyad, fundamentally reshaped the course of European history. It transformed North Africa into a launchpad, demonstrating its pivotal geopolitical role in shaping global power dynamics. Here's where the North African story takes a truly unique turn. Unlike many other regions integrated into the early caliphate, the Berber tribes of North Africa converted to Islam on a massive scale, and not just as passive recipients. They became primary military forces for further Islamic expansion. This widespread adoption of Islam, coupled with their active participation, raises a fascinating question. What made the Berbers embrace this new faith with such zeal and become its formidable champions? With their conversion, Berber warriors were not merely integrated into the Umayyad armies, they became their backbone, instrumental in subduing the rest of North Africa and then spearheading the conquest of Iberia. This wasn't just about manpower, it was about their indigenous knowledge of the terrain, their fierce warrior traditions, and their strategic prowess. Their collective agency transformed them from a conquered people into co-architects of a sprawling new empire, leveraging their military strength to shape their own future. Despite their crucial role, the rapid conversion of Berbers didn't erase all socio-political tensions. By the early 8th century, widespread Kharijite revolts erupted, fueled by grievances over taxation and social inequality between Berber converts and the Arab Umayyad military aristocracy. These revolts were a powerful assertion of Berber agency, a demand for equitable treatment and true integration, not just military service. They sought to redefine what it meant to be part of the caliphate, pushing for a more just and inclusive Muslim society. By the mid-8th century, the centralized caliphal rule in the far west began to collapse, giving rise to independent Muslim states like the Idrisids, Almoravids, and Almohads. These indigenous dynasties used Islam as the primary idiom to legitimize their authority, asserting their right to rule independently of the central caliphate in Baghdad or Damascus. This fragmentation wasn't a sign of weakness, but a powerful demonstration of local African agency as new political structures emerged, rooted in regional identity and religious interpretation. The shift from a Christian or polytheistic majority to a Muslim majority in North Africa was not an instantaneous event. It was a prolonged, multi-century process driven by both state-led investment in Islamic institutions and profound changes in the daily practices of ordinary people. This gradual transformation reflects a complex interplay of political incentives, social dynamics, and individual spiritual journeys. It was a slow burn, not a sudden flash, shaping the cultural identity of an entire region over generations. The rhythm of conversion varied significantly. In the central Maghreb, large-scale conversion of rural Berber communities occurred relatively early, in the late 7th to early 8th centuries. However, urban Christian populations in regions like the Zab and Ares generally converted later, often during the 9th century. In areas with strong Byzantine heritage, such as Tunisia and coastal Libya, Christianity persisted even longer, with mass conversion of town dwellers dated primarily to the late 9th century. This shows how local context deeply influenced the pace of religious change. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence for the shift to Islam comes from an unexpected place: ancient dinner plates. Archaeological data shows a dramatic decline in pig bones found at archaeological sites, from 31.8% in late antiquity. Pig bone presence plummeted to a mere 1.1% in the medieval period. This isn't just about food, it's a powerful material baseline, reflecting the widespread uptake of Muslim dietary taboos and the profound impact of Islamic law on daily life and cultural practices. Even in death, the change was evident. The 8th century saw the emergence of distinctly Muslim cemeteries, where the deceased were buried on their right sides, carefully oriented to face Mecca. These new burial grounds were often established near or even within older Christian burial sites. This meticulous shift in funerary practices, from body positioning to grave location, provides tangible archaeological proof of the profound and widespread adoption of Islamic ritual and belief, reflecting a new spiritual landscape. The visual language of power and identity also transformed. The use of Arabic for coins, rings, and tombstones became common, replacing earlier Latin or Greek inscriptions. These epigraphic changes weren't just about a new language, they were potent assertions of religious and political identity. The most visible sign of the new order was the transformation of the religious landscape through architecture. A unique architectural form emerged in North Africa: the Ribat. These fortified structures, such as those at Monastir and Sousse, served a dual purpose, military and religious. They housed prayer halls for soldiers and volunteers, becoming centers of spiritual devotion and defensive strongholds against external threats. The Ribat embodies the blend of faith and protection, reflecting the early Islamic emphasis on both spiritual and communal defense. It's a powerful symbol of a community building its strength in all dimensions. The 9th century witnessed a massive building program under the Aghlabid emirs. As Islam gained ascendancy, elements from older Christian structures, columns, capitals, marble panels, were systematically stripped and reused in the construction of new mosques. This practice, known as spolia, was more than just recycling building materials. It was deeply symbolic. It visually asserted the religious primacy of Islam, transforming the physical landscape to reflect the new spiritual order. While some churches persisted, many were dismantled, their stones becoming part of the new sacred architecture, a powerful visual statement. The Maliki school of jurisprudence became the foundational legal framework for North Africa, particularly in Morocco. What made Maliki thought so resilient and widely adopted? It emphasized local customs known as urf and practical reasoning, allowing Islamic law to integrate pre-Islamic tribal traditions and societal needs. This adaptability created a robust legal system that balanced religious tradition with local context, shaping everything from marriage to inheritance and remaining deeply embedded in the region's legal identity to this day. Despite the rise of Islam, North Africa didn't become a monolithic entity overnight. Christian and Jewish communities persisted for centuries, with Kairouan serving as a center for both Talmudic studies and Christian clergy well into the 11th century. This period saw a remarkable cultural synthesis, where Greek, Arab, and Syriac elements blended, eventually giving way to a dominant Arabic culture. However, indigenous identities, particularly Berber, remain central to the political and social fabric, creating a rich, pluralistic heritage that continues to define the region.
The integration of North Africa into the Muslim world was a multi-century process of strategic agency, economic leverage, and profound cultural transformation. It was a period where local populations, particularly the Berbers, actively shaped their own destiny, influencing the trajectory of an entire civilization. From the architecture to the legal systems, from daily diets to global trade routes, North Africa became an indispensable, dynamic core of the Islamic world, a legacy that continues to resonate today. Understanding this history isn't just about the past, it's about recognizing the enduring strength, resilience, and strategic genius of African peoples in shaping global history. Keep asking questions, keep digging deeper, and always seek out the stories that challenge what you thought you knew.